Hey, what is up, you awesome people? Clunky here. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. And today I'm going to show you guys the very best specs for solo queue RBG Blitz that you can play right now. I'm a 2.9k player, so this is going to be the most accurate tier list that you're going to be finding on YouTube by far. So you've got a couple of categories right here. Okay, so first one is going to be godly. Second is going to be S tier. And then you've got A tier, and then you've got don't play, and then you've got masochists. Okay, if you play that tier right here, if you play a spec that's right here, you like to suffer. So without further ado, let's jump straight into. I have a place. Oh my gosh, yeah. If you want the best healer right now, go Holy Priest. Holy Priest is literally the most insane freaking healer right now. I would say the only downside of playing Holy Priest right now is most likely its mobility. You're not as mobile as, let's say, a Mistweaver. Mistweaver, where are you? Got you. A Mistweaver, okay? But where's the problem if you can't die? You literally don't have to move as a Holy Priest because you can't die. So the only thing is Mistweavers are going to have a much better time because as a Mistweaver, even if you, let's say you're healing your ally flag carrier and you get gripped back and CC'd, well, you can trinket and then double boop yourself back to your flag carrier, which is no problem. But as a Holy Priest, you can't do that. You just, like, you're going to be setting CCs and watching your team get further away from you and then most likely die. Let's be honest. But yeah, I'm placing Mistweaver and the S tier for two reasons. Because for the first reason, they literally lost the ability to teleport with the enemy flag, which is a huge downgrade. Okay, they used to be invincible, unkillable, absolutely impossible to kill, impossible to catch. Nowadays, with the ability to teleport with flags being removed, they're much easier to take down. But it doesn't mean that they're going to be easy to take down, okay? Against casters, Revival, they're still insanely annoying to deal with, and they're still going to be a safe bet for you guys, okay? Then I'm going to go with Holy Pally, which is, honestly, it's going between S and A. I would say Holy Pally is absolutely phenomenal when paired with a Holy Priest, because Holy Priests are insane. That's literally it. Okay, they have insane healings. Okay, don't get me wrong, they can heal a lot, big AoE heals with Beacon of Light, but when their bubble is off, they're gonna get mauled to death by Feral Druids, by Frost DKs, by Unholy DKs. Talking about Feral Druids, dude, I've never seen Feral that OP, dude. Like, the last time I've seen Feral Druid that freaking strong was back in Mist of Pandaria in Warlords of Draenor. I literally saw Feral Druids players, okay, which don't even have their trinkets binded, in most of their abilities binded, get to 2.5k rating. These dudes literally click their trinkets, these dudes literally click their abilities, and they got 2.5k rating and more. Talking about our furry friends, we're gonna go with Guardian Druid. Guardian Druid is a sleeper OP spec for solo queue RBGs. And by the way, if you play a tank in solo queue RBGs, I hope you're not weak-minded, because you're gonna receive a ton of freaking rage. Okay, people literally hate tanks and solo queue RBGs. Me, myself, I don't care. As long as I can pump some big damage, you know, I've got the DPS brain, big numbers. Oh, I'm buzzing like crazy. What's happening with Guardian Druid is their ability to spin flags like no other. So how it works, basically, as a Guardian Druid, you have Barskin and you have that passive ability. I think it's a PvP talent. In fact, it's called Brambles. And whenever you press Barskin, okay, let's say you press Barskin, you get cycloned right next to your flag and you can't trinket. Doesn't matter, bro. Your Brambles are going through the CC, through the cyclone, and it's hitting everything that's around you, including the people who are trying to steal your flag. So this class right now is insanely broken if it's trying to, like, just spin a base overall. Screw it. Let's do Restoration Druid. Okay, Restoration Druid is a live lord. It never dies. But the biggest downside, oh my gosh, this one hurts, okay? The biggest downside of Resto Druid is the spells. And what's happening in big team formats, just like in solo queue RBGs, where like people actually dispel you, well, you're gonna now be struggling. On top of that, Resto Druid excels at healing one target, and he actually does it way better than most healers. But hard part is actually healing multiple targets, which is literally how RBGs are played, by the way. So it's going to be much rougher as a restoration to heal your whole team than it is to heal your whole team as a holy priest. I kind of want to get done with healers first. I don't know why. Let's go with Discipline Priest. Discipline Priest is just like a weaker version of a holy priest right now. This actually used to be like god tier, but as of right now, it literally does everything that Holy Priest does, but worst. It's literally it, dude. And then you've got Preservation Evoker, which literally is between S and A, by the way, but I'm gonna place it on A as of right now. Bro, Preservation Evoker literally fell off the staircase of love from Blizzard. I don't know why. It used to be like godly plus. Nowadays, it's still able to pull off some crazy AoE heals. Like, they're pretty hard to take down, but then again, they're only able to do it if they have a holy priest in their team, which enables them to do everything. I'm gonna be honest, man, I've seen like holy priests just like screw everything, bro. They're literally running the flag. They're super insanely slow, but they are so tanky, they never die. Even with like 10 stacks, they literally don't die. So I don't know why the meta is like that right now, but like healers are literally god flag carriers. Alright, so I don't know why I want to place Warrior. Arms Warrior right now, S tier. Why? I have no clue, dude. The top ranked players for Arms Warrior right now are 3.1k rating, almost 3.2k rating. Absolutely bonkers. In my opinion, I think that's one of the only characters which is a healer killer. All right, with big mortal strikes, they're able to slowly wear down those healers, and then the rest of the team is somewhat able to take that healer down. So for that one reason, I'm pretty sure the only thing that's carrying Arms Warrior right now is the Mortal Strike effect. And then we've got its friend right here, which is more of a counterfeit to Warrior as a whole, which is Fury Warrior. Fury Warrior can still get to super high rating. In fact, the top ranked players right now with Fury Warriors are 3.1k, almost 3.1k, okay? So they're still good, but they're a little bit weaker than Arms Warrior. And then I'm gonna go with Protection Warrior, which is a solid pick. I've seen like a dude who plays Protection Warrior actually do pretty well. But then again, if you want to play a tank and solo queue RBGs, man, people are gonna rage at you so freaking hard, and you're better off just playing an Arms Warrior than a freaking Protection Warrior, because overall you're gonna deal more damage. Yes, you're less tanky, but at least you're providing your team with something like damage and a lot of mortal effect. And then you've got, let's go with Subtlety Rogue. Okay, Subtlety Rogue, yeah, it's still insanely good at 1 versus 2 capping objectives, just for that one reason, because they can spam stuns and CCs all game long. Okay, having a lot of CCs actually wins you games in solo queue RBGs. Why? Because when your enemies are perma-stunned, perma-blinded, perma-sapped, you cap the flag. So that's literally subtlety in a nutshell, dude. All right, let's go with Brewmaster, Masochist. Okay, Brewmaster is a worse version than Protection Warrior. Let's be honest, man, you're gonna suffer. On top of people hating on you, you're not gonna accomplish much, basically. And then you've got the tank DH, which is a little bit better than Protection Warrior. I would almost place it on S. Like, it's so hard, man. Like, we would need like different categories for healers, you know, DPSs and tanks, but here we go. We're placing everything on the same screen. Hopefully you guys don't burn my house for that. But honestly, tank DHs are pretty amazing at flag carrying, but that's essentially all they do. If they try to spin a base, they die right away, and they're only good at literally carrying flags. That's the only thing they do, but they do it well. Oh my dude, man. Demo Warlock, Masochist. If you play Demo Warlock, like, I think out of all the Warlock specs, Demo Warlocks have the weakest overall rankings out of the 3 specs. They literally exist to get bullied by, let's say, Windwalkers. Windwalkers, absolutely bonkers. They're like, you're gonna get so freaking booty smashed by everything that's in the S tier. Ferals, they're gonna just walk over you and piss in your face. Like, subtlety, everything's gonna smash your face in, and you're not gonna be able to do anything, because as a demo, you need to cast. In solo queue RBGs, there's a bunch of people with kicks and CCs, so you're never gonna be casting anything against competent teams, okay? Maybe at low rating, you're gonna be pulling that off, but at high rating, man, you're gonna hate your life. And I'm gonna place Frost Mage on Godly because of 2 reasons. Your 2 big balls, your 2 big icy balls dangling between your legs, okay? I'm just kidding, but honestly, you're gonna be hated by people. If you play Frost Mage well, you can Snowdrift, you can Blizzard, you can Ring of Frost, you can Wall of Ice, you can, and that's literally just 50% of what you can do. You can mass poly. You're gonna be insanely hard to deal with, especially if you're carrying the flag and trying to get towards your base. Man, Frost Mage is going to make your life miserable. And then you've got Fire Mage that does pretty much everything that Frost Mage does, but way, way worse. Yes, it got buffed. Yes, it can deal damage, but you're so much better off just playing Frost Mage. It's going to be so much easier. On top of pissing everybody up, you're actually gonna do something, okay? So Fire Mage right now has some decent burst, but outside Meteor, forget about killing anything with a Holy Priest, which is barely awake, barely trying to heal your burst. It's going to be way harder as a Fire Mage, but you could also play the Mage God spec, which is Arcane Mage, which is in the middle of SNA, but again, it's not for everyone. It takes a big freak load of skill to make that spec work, okay? It is not for the weak, basically. Oh wait, but you want a spec that deals huge AoE damage, is super easy to play, and actually has super high overall rankings. There we go. Play the Dragon Boy, okay? Huge damage, huge everything, except your only downside as a dragon is you're kind of super squishy and you don't have Ice Block. So keep that in mind. Oh boy, I got some good news for you guys, okay? And then Tremi, bam! Finally, dude, finally, okay? I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. So, Enhancement Tremi, what's happening right now is the way their burst works is it kind of fits solo queue RBGs a lot, and I'm gonna prove my point right now. Okay, so the top ranked Battleground Blitz players for Shami Enhancement have a 3.2k rating, okay? So pretty freaking good at the moment, okay? I would even say they're a lot better than, let's say, what's the name of it again? Ali Shami. Not that I've played Ali Shami for like 500 hours at this point, but see, like the margin of CR between the 2 specs, it's kind of incredible. So it is possible right now for Enhancement Shami to climb the rating. So I would actually go with it, dude. If you like playing Enhancement, now is the time to shine. So Ellie is going down a little bit because of A couple reasons being their burst is on a super long cooldown. It's straight up unreliable. I know because I play LE. I play every spec in the game, by the way, not only LE. And what's happening really with Enhancement Shaman is the fact that they have Surging Totem. Okay, that thing has a short freaking cooldown, and what it does, it actually does huge AoE damage. And if you play Totemic, well, you're in for a lot of fun because you're gonna top the charts. And though I would say the only thing about Enhancement Shaman is they're kind of easy-ish to take down. They don't have the durability of, let's say, Feral Druid. Feral Druid could literally press his defensives, go AFK, and still be alive in 5 years, but it's not the case for Enhancement. Though I would say Enhancement has a little bit more burst than Feral Druid overall. And then you've got Marksmanship Hunter, which is still one of the top freaking specs for solo queue RBGs by far, just because of its one-shot capabilities. Okay, I think by now you guys know what I'm talking about. You maybe got one-shotted a bunch of times by Marksmanship Hunter. They got nerfed, but they're still insanely freaking strong. And then we've got Frost Decay. Let's go! I'm gonna place Frost Decay in the S tier because Frost Decay has insane bursts, insane AoEs, and got buffed recently. And on second thought, I'm gonna bring back Windwalker towards Frost Decay. Why these two specs are on par with each other is because, firstly, Frost Decay got buffed kind of hard recently, and Frost Decay has more CCs available than Windwalker. Okay, Windwalker has leg sweep and a little bit more damage. So as a Windwalker, you're carrying your team by dealing more damage. But as a Frost Decay, you're carrying your team by CCing like crazy. And of course, your huge AoE burst. Wait. You know what? Like, the tank specs are a little bit too high on the spectrum right here. Let's bring Guardian right here. Let's bring the tank DH here, and let's bring where is it? Yeah, Protection Warrior right here. I mean, they're not bad, but they don't actually compete with the DPS specs. Okay, all the tank specs right now, they're playable, but all of them have way lower rating than their DPS counterparts. Okay, so that's just a fact. If you guys want to go and check up if I say BS to you, go ahead, and you're gonna see that I'm not talking through my hat at all. Okay, the disparity is kind of huge. It's literally like 700 rating difference. So let's go with Havoc Demon Hunter. Okay, overall, all the Demon Hunter players have less rating than Frost Decays and Windwalker Monks because of one main reason: Aldraki Reaver. Okay, this hero talent tree is meta right now for DH, but it's not meant for PvP. The reason being is because the gameplay is so slow. You need to get lucky and get the good buffs, and then you need do the rotation, which is way harder than in Dragonflight. If we were talking about the DH from Dragonflight, it would literally be above Godly, like above, and maybe even like one tier above the tier that's above Godly, like literally, or maybe even more, you know. But as of right now, DH is still a strong contender, but it's not on par with Frost Decay and Windwalker. And then we're gonna go with Augmentation Evoker, which is not a bad spec. It got buffed lately, but I'm gonna show you guys something. Okay, so this is the ranking for all of the top ranked Augmentation Evokers, and none of them are actually reaching 3K. Okay, so this is like literally the proof in your face right now. Augmentation Evoker, it's kind of better than what it used to be, but it's not on par with the A tier as of right now. But I'm expecting some buffs. Then you've got Shadow Priest, which is actually bonkers right now. It got nerfed a little bit, okay? I would have placed it between Godly and S, but since the nerf, I'm going to place Shadow Priest on S tier. Still a pretty insane class to play, okay? It's not bad at all. Though, you're going to get smacked by Feral Druids, Subtlety Rolls. You're going to get smacked, dude. Though, nowadays, they're super tanky, thanks to Inner Will, which literally increases their defense by 15% whenever melee slaps you on the wrists. So they're way better than what they used to be. So if you want to play Shadow Priest, now is a good time to do it. Let's go with Blood Decay. I don't know why. I want to talk about Blood Decay and shit on the spec, okay? So you got Blood Decay right here, which is exceptionally good at not dying, but that's the only thing it's exceptionally good at. So if you don't want to die and kind of help your team by doing that, you can play Blood Decay, but it's not going to be on par with, let's say, a Tank DH, which can actually do something, in honestly like a freaking Garden Druid, which can actually do something too. All right, let's talk a little bit about Affliction Warlock. Okay, Affliction Warlock, I'm gonna place it on A tier. The reason being is just right here. Okay, all the top ranked players for Affliction Warlocks can't even reach like 3k rating, but like, I'm gonna be honest, dude, all the Windwalker players and Frost Decay players are reaching like 3.1k rating. So there's kind of a huge disparity between Affliction Warlock and Windwalker and Frost Decay. So it's not bad, it's not exceptionally good though. And then you've got Destruction Warlock, which is absolutely it's broken right now. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, dude, and I've made a build video. In fact, it is the build video that you guys need to watch. The build video contains the build, the very one build that these dudes with 3.2k rating are playing. Okay, you can literally carry your team by spamming Chaos Bolts, and you should go and watch it. It is the best build video you're gonna see on the internet right now. So Destruction, if you're playing with the build showcased in the build video that I did, which is in the description down below, you're gonna have a ton of fun and climb easy peasy, boys. As for Retribution Pally, I've got some pretty great news for you guys. It is actually going between S and A, but as of right now, I'm gonna put it on A. All right, so the top ranked players in the whole world, they're actually reaching like very close to 3k rating, and you've even got like one red patty, which is 3.1k rating. So it is possible right now. Gosh, it's so hard. I would literally place red right here. Of course, it got buffed. Maybe people are still climbing. I'm gonna take a wild guess right here and place red on S tier as of right now, because of the 50% buff they received for their downlight, which is honestly, it's kind of pumping a lot. And if we take Unholy, I would say it's pretty much on par with Affliction and DH. Yes, Havoc Demon Hunter, pretty much. Though it lacks the big AoE like one-shot potential than Frost Decay has in Windwalkers. Like Unholy kind of has to build up that momentum to be able to rot the whole enemy team down, which is going to be all dispelled by a Monk pressing revival. So there we go. Like if it had more burst potential, more CC, because Frost Decay has like way better CCs than Unholy, it would actually be on S tier, on par with all the rest of the top DPSs. And then this next one is no surprise. We've got Balanced Druid, which is the king of AoE damage. It lacks that one-shot potential, but it can rot the whole enemy team down super fast. Though I'm going to be honest, as a Balanced Druid, the thing about Balanced Druid that kind of sucks is people expect you to off-run the flags, okay? So you're not going to be spending the whole match going for the flag, but you're expected to get the flag sometimes and bring it over to your healer. So that's the downside about Balance. And then you've got Restoration Shaman, which is again going to be in the middle of the pack. The reason being is because Resto Shaman has the potential, okay? Big disruptive abilities, though it doesn't shine anywhere, okay? It's way easier to take down than, let's say, a Holy Priest or a Mistweaver, and it cannot really carry the flag and heal itself quite good at the same time, just like a Mistweaver could. But it's going to be okay, I guess. It's going to be on par with Restoration Druids. By the way, Restoration Druids got a little bit of a buff on top of having that new ability, which is called Ancient of Lore. So overall, I would say if you play a spec which is in the A tier, you're going to still have a good chance to climb rating. Not easily, but you're going to be climbing, okay? Then you've got Outlaw Rogue, which is going to be going on the S tier-ish, low end S tier. I'm going to place it on A, okay? They kind of nerfed the ability to hook. Let me explain myself, okay? You used to be able to hook 3 times across the whole map and start capping the flag nowadays. But what happened is they actually adjusted the time that it needs for the flag to become available to capture. So it's not possible nowadays to just triple hook yourself across the whole map and start capping the flag with a smoke bomb. So for that one only reason, it's kind of a big reason. Like, you would literally choose a game and win right away in like 3 globals. So, and then you've got Assassination Rogue, which is dealing more damage than Outlaw Rogue, has way more CC capabilities, especially against casters. Like, casters hate Assassination Rogues. Assassination Rogues are super insane healer killers because they can triple Garrot, silence the healer, and the healer, as you guys know, it cannot do shit while silenced, so teammates die and Rogue wins. But it's not going to be as good as a subtlety to carry 1 versus 2 flag caps, okay? Subtlety is going to be a step ahead of an Assassination Rogue in doing so. In fact, I would say Assassination Rogue will always lose on 1 versus 1 against a good subtlety. I would say Assassination Rogue deals more damage than subtlety, so it's going to be better for Assassination Rogue to do some team fights, okay? But they're still going to be pretty good at going and capping objectives solo, and but they're going to be like way more squishy than an Outlaw Rogue, okay? And then you've got Protection Valley, which is pretty much a meme at this point. Yes, it can deal some damage sometimes. It's kind of surprising. In fact, the damage is pretty surprising. Okay, I got one-shotted by some Protection Valleys, but let's check their ranking. Okay, most of them cannot even reach 2.4k rating. Only one of them was able to do it, and I'm pretty sure as soon as he actually hit the 2.4k mark, Defense Zone actually stopped playing right away to not lose rating. So it is going to be exceptionally hard as a Protection Valley to climb rating, but you know, I don't make the rules, I just shit on them, okay? Blizzard makes the rules. And then you've got Beast Mastery. Beast Mastery, I have no idea what's happening, but they're kind of good. Yes, you're looking at a pretty good spec overall, honestly. But most of the best players cannot reach 3k rating as a BM Hunter, because pretty much for one reason, I would say, is because you're going to be base sitting like crazy. Your whole life as a BM Hunter in solo queue RBGs is going to sit at one objective and call for help, while there's a fel like pissing on you, and while there's a subtlety rogue trying to murder you and your whole family. So it's still a pretty good spec, but it's not going to be as easy for a BM Hunter to climb than it is for Frost Decay, Windwalker, etc. And then finally, you've got Survival Hunter. If you play Survival Hunter, man, you're a boss, because right now Survival Hunters are actually not that great, okay? In fact, all of the best survival players are not able to reach 2.9k, okay? Remember, those BM players, most of the top ranked players were able to reach 2.9k and over. So with that being said, survival is more of an arena spec, okay, which relies heavily on scoring those freezing traps, and they're not as good in the current meta. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. If you agree with me, if you disagree, you can always tell me down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you guys are not already, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and also the bell button. If you don't hit the bell button, YouTube won't show you my next videos, dude. And honestly, it's rough, dude. It's rough. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have an awesome rest of the day, and stay awesome, gentlemen. This was Clunky Dude.